Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Lila Nishma Simi Mirosirus Vasporchai. Live from Chodorov, Chicago, Illinois. It's a big schus to be here. I plan on being here for a lot of Benes Manim, with a few little breaks here and there. We're going to be going to Los Angeles to visit the Chevron in Los Angeles, to be mechazik them for a few days, mechazik myself, go visit my son there. From there, I don't have any tickets yet, but I'm planning on taking my wife somewhere. It was our 30th anniversary, 30. It scares me. I'm married for 30 years. It's like a number. It's meshuggah. I remember there was a time when I thought that people that were 30 years old were old people, and now I was married for 30 years. You know, it's not fun living over here in America, and I'm speaking to people in Israel, and they have there's a certain fear in the air, literally fear, because Iran said they're going to attack directly. They don't know when, they don't know how. Hezbollah is saying, okay, they're going to attack. And you live in this sense of geschmack, and the thing that we could do is increase Torah, increase tefillah, gemilas chasadim. You know, do something positive and think that it's the covered the situation in America, in Eretz Yisrael. So, Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Steinberg, Shalom. It happens to be that during Ben Azmanim, the plan is to give a shir here at 7 o'clock, which I did today. If that works out, that means that the shir in English will pretty much start on time, because all the equipment will be ready more than an hour before the English shir. So those of you who think that if you come at 8:20, you'll be on time, not this time around. Anyway, I wanted to show you a few things here. Be'ezer Hashem, the last couple of days we had breakfast in the Beis Medrash, and we had dinner for the Hebrew shir, because the Hebrew shir is at night, English in the morning. So here's a picture of the Hebrew shir. We had 51 people attend the shir, 51 people came to eat chont. They stayed for the shir as well. But that's not nice to say. They really came. We said we want to do something special. We want the chevra to stick together. In the morning, in the evening, people complain that I leave on vacation, everything falls apart, it's not so much fun to come to the shir. So we said, you know what, we'll do some food. Mo Landy was very gracious to sponsor $1,600. We're still looking for sponsors. If anybody wants to do food, people like to donate food. Talking about donations, I said once in shir that we're looking to buy a new computer for the 3 artists, because the 2 out of the 3 are 3D animations. I'll show you what they do. During shir, we'll see some of the 3D animations, and that requires a very, very powerful computer for rendering. Rendering takes 2-3 hours on their computers now, and a lot of times it doesn't come in time for the shir, for the Hebrew shir. So they said, we want to purchase a $10,000 computer. Right away, 2 people donated the $10,000. Well, 1 person donated, the second person we told them, hold off, we don't need it right now. Maybe use it for a different donation. And the person sponsoring is Motzei Shabbos. He said he doesn't have the money, but he wants to give $1,000 every 2 weeks, and he already sent in his first payment, and I'll read the name soon. Anyway, that's in Hebrew, this is in English. Just wanted to let you know that Baruch Hashem, my husband has been with Ya'al since Brachas Beis. Despite being in the hospital over COVID, the even the video is able to grab him and do the regular length daf daily. So accomplishing. I don't want to make fun of people that say they're here from Brachas, because I already got yelled at, and the guy proved to me that he was from Brachas, because there's an email he sent 3 weeks into Brachas. I don't think he wants this email read out loud. Well, it's a good thing you put it in the middle of the email. Just want to say thank you. It's very special to watch. I actually convinced him to learn by doing the 8-minute daf myself and discussing with him, and then he tried it and got hooked. I have left, LOL, but he's still there. FYI, we happen to be cousins. My mother's a Pupko. We meet in Houston, where my sister made a bar mitzvah. Keep up your heliga work, and Abbas's Torah. Mamash, my cousin, unbelievable. Okay. Good morning, Rebelli attached. Please find the video of my son doing good morning, Rabbi Sai.
Here you go.
Mordechai Sapaznik, Rebelli discussed sponsoring a new computer. I want to know if I can possibly pay for the whole thing. Just paid out, like send a quick pay of $1,000 every 2 weeks. I'll send the first 1,000 now. Give donation to Nishmas, my great grandparents and grandparents, Rav lchol and Zev ben Rav and Yom and Avraham Yaakov Zechariah Rabbanit El Gittel Bas Rav Baruch Dovid Yakov yisrael Arya ben Reb Avram Yishayo Zechariah Fegish Prince Bas Rav Yitzchok Zechariah Yishkoyach Mordechai Zapaznik. You should find the Shidduch Bekoroiv. Hiring team. Good morning, Rebelli. I must tell you my feelings after starting the Daf Yomi. Rebelli says, so, did I read this yesterday? In Hebrew I did, for sure. Because I feel like Mashiach is coming. Based on these, I got 2 emails. What's unbelievable about these 2 emails is that both of them came on the same day, and both from Monroe. Satmar Hasidim. I'm from Monroe, New York. Went to Satmar Yeshiva. Here's the story, as you already know. LOL. You changed my life and my marriage. I used to sit and watch TV shows and not learn since I was a little boch and got stamped as a shvacha boy, and that's where it ended. My father told me once to try Rebelli Shili. You love it. I started once. I even got a free Gemara, but it didn't last for too long. Now I got a boost again after watching What a Day vlog. If you want to see the What a Day vlog, here it is. What a Day by Ari Chaimowitz. Close to 40,000 views, and many people started this year because of this this little thing. It's over an hour of the life of MDY. It starts from in the morning when I prepare the shir, go to shir, all the people behind the scenes, gewaldige stuff. If you didn't see it, it's kedai to watch. Yosef, I'm sure you watched it. Was that boring?
No.
Did you get to the part where me and him cry together? By the letter. Hey, you don't remember, then you didn't see it. I even got a free Gemara, but it didn't last. Yeah, I started Bava Basra and haven't missed a day since. It just gives me life. And suddenly my wife started respecting me more. She's supporting me. Thank you so much. Looking forward to tomorrow's shir. Beautiful. So that's one guy from Monroe. The next one, Elia Berger, also from Monroe. I've joined Bava Basra. Let me see what day he sent it. Wednesday, July 31st. And this one is Wednesday, July 31st. 1541. Let's see what time they sent it. 12:37 a.m. Unbelievable. Shalom Aleichem. I've joined Bava Basra, BUVA. I think he also writes like that. I'm just trying to see the differences here. Maybe it's the same guy. He's not Magim Chaynik. No, this guy's Bava Basra, BAVA. He started from Bava Basra Daf Beis. Spiritually, I'm your Talmud from Bruchas Daf Beis. He's trying to get onto the cruise by being spiritually my Talmud. And I must tell you that you have not changed. Listen to this line, Rabbi Yisrael. You have not changed my life. You made me alive. In other words, you give me life. You didn't change my life. You are my life. Something like that. I have learned in Amud Erevin each day, but lately I started pushing it over to learn it after work, and I find myself late at night before learning a word. Since I joined you on Bava Basra, I listen to your shir in the morning before I start work. So what he's saying is he used to learn late at night. It wasn't such geschmack learning. Now he learns it in the morning. Thank you, Rebelli, for making Torah such clear and geschmack, and for catering it to our generation. And thanks to MDY for making this happen every day. P.S. If I may ask MDY, they should provide Menachem Scher a mic, so we, the remote guys, should be able to hear his comments in the middle of the shir. No, thank you. No way. Mr. Shige. But you should be able to shut it down when you want to move ahead in the shir. Avi Noam may also get one. Okay, that's okay. Avi Noam, fine. If it's in the budget of MDY. Your Talmud, Elia Berger, Monroe, New York. I'd rather today is the first day I'm using this brand new mic system. It's like these little guys that clip on. You can see right over here, clips onto my jacket. And in the phone, there's a little plug. Let me know if you hear it better. Because people were hearing me slurring last time. It has nothing to do with my speech impediment. It has to do with the sound in the iPhone not catching it well. Now you'll be able to hear the slurring even better because it's coming right off this. All right, anyway. This is in Hebrew. Great. So these are the guys from this Ben Zer from Roslyn, New York. Rabbi, can you please say thank you, DJ, for the T-shirt? The kids they're doing the scene of the 2 guys fighting over a boat. Started learning that with brachas, but I fell off the psachim. High school workload was intense. Now that I finished high school, I go back on the daf through Yisrael with Bava Basra daf pay. Just the other day, I was able to have a discussion about what's an chsadra. Since I remember from the pictures yesterday, you mentioned Rabbi. If anyone has camped to send a picture of two guys fighting on a boat, I figured that since I was at Marusha Cholei, there'd be no better opportunity to take such a picture. It's actually a beautiful picture. Look at the background, the lake, the whole thing is great. Remember those canoes back in camp? And they used to flip, and you had to unflip them.
5 seconds later, this is flipped.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben Zara. And, this we said already. Rabbi said, this Motzei Shabbos, come join the Chevra in Brooklyn for fresh pizza, sushi, and all the Gewaldige Sachen, Manastrich, on 1301 East 27th Street. Sponsorship available, RSVP. The Masech is sponsored with safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnasah, refua, shleima. Neftali Herz, Ben Leah. A hidden tzaddik in our generation. Parnasah chodesh, Zechraya b'Moshe, bas Yosef. Bariאות, Yehudit, bas Chana Gאלדא, kelno refanala, kelno refanala. Oh, and breakfast is sponsored by Mo Landy, the English master Shai ben Reb Moshe. Sponsorships are still available if anybody wants to donate food. If anybody wants to donate Gemaras, very, very important because volume 2 is going out now. It's at the end of Cheskes Abadim, I believe, is volume 2. So, for volume 2, Be'ezer Hashem, we are looking for sponsorships. Whatever comes in, that's what we're going to be sending out. We just got 3 days ago an anonymous donation of over $1,000. So Yishkoyach, that's like 35 Gemaras. How much is that? Something like that. We're still short of what we need, but it is what it is. Parnasah, Joe Sharp, I guess I missed these 3 guys or more, 3 guys. Hatzlacha to rebel in his travels, and shukach to those staying on the wagon when he's away. Wow, thank you, Joe Sharp. Parnasah, Alissa Kovacs, happy 40th birthday to Mayer Kovacs. Continue to learn and grow through MDY. So proud. I apologize for being a day late. So happy 40th. Wow, that's a big number. 48. Parnasah, for hatzlacha, parnasah, refua, shleima, lchol, cholei, yisrael. Amen. Menachem Scher, in memory of the best Zaidi, Yitzchak ben Dovid Yakov, and the Neshama should have an aliyah to the best Zaidi. Pinchas Akilov, thanks for the Gemara Sukkah Siyum being uploaded to YouTube. Really appreciate it. People are appreciating things that we did during Sukkah. Ari Seitner, thank you Hashem for the many nisim of our sons' refua. Akiva Shalom, Ben Chana, Zissel. A lot of people need refuas out there. Parnasah to the eventual finishing of Shas. And Parnasah Yehudit and Michael Joshua London for Hashem's great honor. Rabbi Isai, here we go. Today we are going to be learning Daf Lamed Ches. It's confusing. I just finished Hebrew Lamed Tes. Oh, it's more appropriate. Thank you. Made a bracha before. We're holding Daf Lamed Zayin on the base, 2 lines from the bottom. Amri Nardo. Hayman dezaben diklo chavrei. If a person sells a, let's go to the next one. This guy, beautiful. Check this out, Rabbi Isai. If I sell you a palm tree, how much land do I get? How much land? You want to know the answer? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to push a button here. You're going to see. Beautiful stuff. Here we go. With the remote control, boop, here goes. Little glitch. It's all the way to China. It's beautiful. If somebody purchases a palm tree from his friend, he purchases all the way into the ground, deep into the ground. What does that mean? For what? What's the difference? How deep it goes? No, what can you come up with?
Mineral rights.
Mineral rights. Another thing is that the original owner can't dig underneath the tree and try to get to this property. I own everything under the tree, so you can't go underneath my tree. It's like ear rights. My ear rights go all the way to the moon, so my ground rights go all the way down into the ground. Another thing is what? Depth rights. No tunneling.
Does it spread out to the roots?
No, didn't say that.
From the trunk.
The trunk. Another nafkamina is, what if the tree dies? If you don't have any rights to the land, then you can't plant another tree. If you have rights to the land underneath the tree is yours, then you can plant another tree. Daf Amud Aleph. Mask Rava asks Rava saffron. Now, if you want to see what saffron is, let me just show you. Oh.
Even in the expensive world of spices, saffron stands out. And real saffron can cost you over $10,000 per kilogram. Sought after for thousands of years as a spice, a dye, and a medicine, you need over 150 flowers to make just 1 gram of saffron. And the stuff you have at home in the cupboard could well be fake. And that small strand of saffron that you harvest as a result of all of this work, well, to get the highest grades, you might need to throw half of it away. The most expensive, highest grade saffron is generally made up of just the very tips of the stigma. In Iran, where over 90% of the world's saffron is produced, there are 4 grades.
Oh, Kisram Hashem, Iran. So ask the Gemara, when I let you plant kurkum of the rishka, saffron, on my ground, I don't let you have any rights to the land. You just take your saffron and you leave. So maybe that's what I did with the tree. I sold you the tree, I didn't sell you the rights to the ground. You should say, I gave you, I sold you the same rights that I would give someone that's planting saffron. Okir, akoir kurkum the rishka, uproot the saffron, vizil, and get out of here. Take your tree and leave. If the purchaser claims rights to the land, then he gets the land. Otherwise, he doesn't get any land. You hear what's going on? He doesn't get land. But if he opens up his mouth and he complains and he says, I deserve land, then we'll give him land. Let's see if anybody knows. How is Mar Keshisha, the son of Rav Chizda, related to Rava? Anybody? No. People that do the shir should know. How is Rava related to Rav Chizda? Oh, Chatan Shelo. Rava married Rav Chizda's daughter. Remember the famous Maisa? What happened? She said, I want to marry both, and he said, I want to be second. So therefore, Mar Keshisha is Rava's brother-in-law. Why? Because Mar Keshisha is Rav Chizda's son, and Rava married Rav Chizda's daughter. So Mar Keshisha tells Rava, I'm sorry, Mar Keshisha, he doesn't tell Rava, but he says to Rav Ashi, let's say the sale is only for the top part of the land, top land. And the guy says, no, you sold me the whole land. You sold me deep down into the ground. So how is the seller going to protect himself? The seller sold him only the top. And this guy is lying. He says, I get the bottom as well. He says, anytime you sell something to someone and it doesn't include all the rights, you must say so in middle. You must make a machal, you must protest. And I'll prove it to you, and this is a freebie. Why is this a freebie? Because, first of all, let me show you the next chart. We're talking about something called a chatzi mecha, a half a mecha. What does a half a mecha mean, Rabbi Yisai? There's a full mecha, a full protest, and there's a half a protest. Full protest means, what are you doing on my land? You don't belong here at all. You're a ganav. A half a protest means you belong here. You don't belong in everything. You belong here to the point I allow you to be here to eat the fruit, but I don't allow you to be here to steal my land. That's a havamacha. So we had a question, does it work? Does it not work? But here says the Gemara, what about Mashkanta the Surah? Does everybody remember what Mashkanta the Surah is? Oh. So this is a regular macha. Second guy says, we have a new editor for Hebrew. His name is Kobe. So he's been adding little things on his own. First time an editor is, no, it's good. He added this. He asked me, could I add this? I say yes, but he does it on his own. So just to show the Olam, we just showed this, but we'll show it again, and we have a guest here or two. A mashkanta de surah means this is a loophole in taking interest in ribbis. There's a malva and a loiva. The malva gives the loiva $100. In return, the loiva gives him a property that's worth $10,000, and he tells the malva, you can go ahead and eat fruit. You can even eat $1,000 worth of fruit for a $100 loan. Oh, it's a loophole in ribbis. That's what I said. Why? Because he's not paying him back. It's a deal. You're buying fruit. It's a different thing. Explain it in Bava Basra. It works like this. For 10 years, you're going to eat fruit. Whether the fruit goes up in value, down in value. And then after 10 years, it's a very specific amount. I'm telling you exactly. And then there is no more loan. The loan gets erased. And in fact, the malva gives back the property to the loiva. So the Gemara says, but wait a minute. If the malva sat on this property for 10 full years, then the malva is going to lie and say it's his property. Rabbanan would never make such a takana. They wouldn't say that this works if the malva could lie and steal the entire property. At the end of the full years of this loan, Elaine, the land should go out, this land should go out without any money. I don't know you, says the any money. What if the malva hides the documentation? And he says, he'll claim he purchased it. Of course he's not believed. But you think Rabbanan made a takana that, they want a loophole in ribbis, forgetting that this could cause a lot of problems to the loiva who loses property. Ella, how does the loiva get out of it? We see this concept, says Gemara, that you tell the loiva, you must protest. Once you protest, the malva cannot. What kind of protest? So let's go back over here. A what? What kind of protest? A chatzimecha, a half a protest. Why is it a half a protest? Because the malva is permitted to be on the property, he's just not allowed to keep it.
Every 3 years he has to do it.
Oh, so that's today. Is it today's sugya? I'm confused. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn about how often you have to do it. It's once every 3 years, not every year. A mecha? Yeah. Yeah. Says Gemara. It's very confusing. Prepare daf lamates, give lamates, then give back lamates. I said yesterday, and with my memory, help me Hashem. Says the Gemara, how do you do it? We said already. See, I'm forgetting what we said, what we didn't say, and that was a minute ago. Says the Gemara, also in our case, you should do a half a macha. In other words, if you're so concerned that someone's going to take your field, you make a macha now. Says the Mishnah, Sholish Arotz is the chazaka. Here's a map of Eretz Yisrael. Last time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mamish made a neis galui. I hope Klal Yisrael appreciated it. I don't remember how many hundreds of missiles flew that night into Eretz Yisrael. 300 missiles. And I can tell you, it's not as simple as you think. Imagine if a missile came into the United States. What are the chances you would see it? 0. I mean, there's a 0.5% chance that you'd see one here in Chicago. But I saw, not only did I see missiles, I took videos of missiles exploding over my house. So foreign objects came in from Iran and they exploded over Ramat Bet Shemesh. I don't know where they exploded, but I saw it clearly. I have video that I took with my phone. That's how close. And not a single missile fell. One sharp nail killed some Drew's girl or something, or she got injured, not killed, injured, Sharpenel, and a missile fell in. That was bad. That a missile actually hit the air base that houses the F-35s. Okay, and that was on purpose. They wanted to hit that. But it was a nice golly, 300 missiles and nothing happened. So halavai, we shouldn't need to come out to these nisim. All these Rishoyim Arurim should go somewhere and should leave us alone. Sholosh harotzos l'chazaka, Yehuda ve'Iver Hayarden v'Agalu. Iver Hayarden seems like it's part of Eretz Yisrael. There's 3 lands in Eretz Yisrael: Yehuda, Judea, Galil, Iver Hayarden. Hayu v'Yehuda ve'Hechzik v'Galil. If the owner of the land was in Yehuda, the guy holding onto the properties in Galil, the Galil ve'Hechzik v'Yehuda, or that reverse, Ein a chazaka. That's not considered a chazaka. If I am holding onto a piece of property for 3 years, but the owner is in a different part of Eretz Yisrael, like in the Galil, in the Galil, it's not a chazaka. Huh? Nothing to do with shtar. We're talking about chazaka. Chazaka means I'm sitting in a property for 3 years, nobody said anything, then it's mine, I don't have to show a shtar. There is no shtar. The whole point of chazaka is that after 3 years, I don't have to have a shtar. It's not my problem. But if the owner is in a different part of Eretz Yisrael where he can't get to me and I can't hear from him that he made a mecha, so it's not a chazaka. You have to be in one country, one place. Or maybe not country, one area. Or maybe oh. Comes Rabbi Yehuda and says, everything that you understood until now about 3 years chazaka is wrong. I hold that chazaka occurs in 1 day. In 1 day, not in 3 years. How does it occur in 1 day? If you're in Chicago and I'm in Chicago, then the chazaka happens in 1 day. If I see you in my house, and I didn't say a word, that's a chazaka. Well, I don't have to wait 3 years. So what's the 3 years? Why do we keep on talking about 3 years? 3 years. 3 years is the most extreme case. It doesn't always happen. But if the owner of the property is in Spain, and you're doing chazaka in Yerushalayim, how long does it take to go from Yerushalayim to Spain? In our days, it takes 4.5 hours by plane. If you don't have a plane, you don't have a ticket, you get to Spain, I looked it up on Google, get to Spain in 60 hours. You drive nonstop, it's 2,500 kilometers, 60 hours. But in the time of the Gemara, it took 1 year. One whole year. It's fascinating what happened with technology. What it took them a year of unbelievable pain and aggravation, of heat and starvation and everything, 1 year takes us 4.5 hours. It's crazy. Just what? In comfort. No, I mean sometimes it's a little uncomfortable because I like it 70, it's 72. So you complain to the pilot. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ordered a kosher meal and there was no kosher meal, so it was mamish hard. It was Mesiras Nefesh. A year. I don't know if you guys saw what's going on here. A full year, no showers for a whole year. What do we do with that extra time? I don't know. Like everything is so easy for us. We live in a generation of just shefa, as much as we just can't fathom it. It says over here, it took them a year to get to Spain. How do you get to Spain? You have to go out to Syria. You cross over to like Turkey. You go I have it written down. Hold on. Yeah. From Turkey, you go to Greece to Italy, and Italy to France, and France to Spain. Whole year. Akoponim. So says the Mishnah, that's why I need 3 years. Why? The guy left, he went on vacation, he's in Spain, or he's working, whatever he's doing over there. Some guy sat down, he heard that he left the country, so he decided to do chazaka in his land. Somebody's going to notify him. That guy also takes me a year to get there. And the moment he hears about it, he's on the beach, chilling out, pina colada. He hears about it. He comes flying back to Eretz Yisrael that day, but it takes him a whole year. Total 3 years. Rabbi Say, here's the video. If you want to see how it looks, hope it's not choppy. Here's a guy doing a chazaka on somebody else's field. He lets him know. It takes a whole year to let him know. You can see the clock on the top corner is going down all the way. He lets him know he's on the beach. He starts walking right away. Meanwhile, he's going and going and going. It takes him a whole year to get there. Now, how do you do macha in Eretz Yisrael? You burn a garbage can. Planning is laniu, the nakal yaru because the new soul, the mocha devana lebedina. That's what you have to say. B'nois Yisrael ein mefker. That's first you start off. B'nois Yisrael ein mefker, and then you say planning is lanu. Givaldik. Okay. I think this picture would have been enough. It's geschmack. Do you know how long it takes to make something like this? It takes 10 seconds to watch. It takes all day.
Is this Yoshi?
No, these are we have full-time 3D animators. 2 of them. It takes a very, very long time. I'm trying to get into a system where it's quicker and easier to get the characters. They'll all have tzitzis and yarmulkes. It's all... Okay. So the Gemara. Says the Gemara, Michael Sovar, Tanakamo. Asks the Gemara, we have a contradiction here. There's a real contradiction. Why? Because Iko Sovar Machal Shalei Befanov Havi Machal. Here. This is also, Kobe did this, because I didn't share Havi Machal, Lo Havi Machal. Just not to be confused. We're going to be talking about this for a little bit. Am I permitted to make a protest when the other guy is not in front of me? You hear? You hear the Shaila? What does a protest mean? I protest. You're sitting in my land, you're sitting in my house in Eretz Yisrael, I'm sitting in Chicago, and I tell all you guys, I protest. What does that do? How does it work? Why should it work? So what's the answer? No. Why should it work? Anybody? I'm protesting over here in Chicago something that you are doing in Israel. How will you know about it? Oh, chavra islay. That's the pshat. That's the only way I can understand it. Otherwise, it makes no sense. I'm trying to tell you, hey, you're sitting in my land without permission. Do you have a shtar? Do you not have a shtar? You should watch your shtar. How in the world are you supposed to know that I made a protest here in Chicago? So that would be the pshat. But we have a machloikis. Does it work or it doesn't work? Says the Gemara, Micah Sovar. Another thing I need to point out in the Mishnah is that Rabbi Yehuda says something very important that I pointed out. What does Rabbi Yehuda say? Chazaka could happen in one single day. The 3 years is in a crazy case that the guy's in Spain. Why Spain? Because the Rashbam says that's the furthest a normal person goes. Nobody will go more than a year away. That's crazy to go more than a year away. That's what he says. So Meshuggah that decides to go all the way to America, which takes 6 years, that we're not even discussing.
People go, but they're not coming back.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. Why would somebody travel on business and it'll take him 3 years to get to someplace? Take him 6 years total. No way. So, another thing that Rabbi Yehuda argues on is that say that he's in a place that's 3 years away, you could still make a chazaka. The Chacham say no. Only if you'll get back here, like in Yehuda and Galil, no chazaka, say Chacham. Rabbi Yehuda argues, he says, even if a place is far away or there's no communication, it is a chazaka. Okay. But ask the Gemara Bam question, I have a contradiction. If we hold that a macha that's not in front of him, is a macha, if you hold that a macha that's not in front of the guy, it works from Chicago to Israel, is considered a macha, thumbs up. Afilu Yehuda v'Gal Nami. So why does the Mishnah say that 2 places in Eretz Yisrael is not considered a mecha? Elamai, you see from Yehuda and Galil that mecha shloi b'fanav, not a mecha. Ikasav a mecha shloi b'fanav. Lo have a mecha. So you hold it's not a mecha. Afilu Yehuda v'Yehuda Nami loi. So then why does the Mishnah talk about 2 major cities or parts of Eretz Yisrael? Yehuda, Galil, north, south, whatever. Why? Even in Yerushalayim, Yehuda, Yerushalayim itself, Harnof and Ramot, no good. Why? Because it has to be in front of the guy. What good is it in the same city? If you hold that mecha shlei b'fanav lo have a mecha, thumbs down, so then you have to say it right in front of the guy's face. It doesn't matter that you said it a block away from him. Block away is also no good. It has to be right in front of him. Says the Gemara. Thumbs up. A mecha, even though the guy is not in front of you, it's a good mecha. Why does it talk about Yehuda Galil? It's talking about a terrible time in Klal Yisrael. There's a war. I'll give you an example, not the greatest example, but now in Gaza. Yeah? You have a chayal in Gaza. And he makes a mecha in Gaza. You're going to hear about it in Yerushalayim? No. They don't have cell phones. They don't have anything. There's no communication over there. It's shut off from the world. At least back in the day. Right? 2 months ago. You couldn't communicate with chayal. They weren't allowed to have cell phones because then the enemy could see their location, I don't know, in the beginning of the war. Stam, a mashal from Zaman Hazeh. In those days when there was a war, there was zero communication, there's nobody coming and going from here to there, so nobody heard about the nayis from one place to the other. They say, the famous Maisa, they say the President of the United States, Biden, he asked his people, like, how can I find stuff out? So he said, you want to find what's going on? Go to the mikveh. Go to the mikveh, you'll find stuff out. So he dresses up as somebody else and he comes to the mikveh. As soon as he walks into the mikveh, a guy says, Shalom Aleichem. You heard? President Biden is supposed to come to the mikveh today. And then, of course, he goes, come on, man. Who's President Biden? Whatever. Zog the Gemara. Maishna Yehuda v'Golden. So why did the Mishnah use that as an example? Yehuda and Gold, those 2 places. How come Ashmalon? Daf Amud Beis. The Stam Yehuda v'Golel kishas cherem damu. Even when there's no war, it's like there's a war. You can't get from one place to the other. And therefore, we use that as a great example. 2 cities that there's not a lot of people going from one to the other, the mecha that you make in one place doesn't count as a mecha. Sponsored by yisrael, construction management and supervision, and the יישׁר community protecting families today before tomorrow's unexpected loss. I'm very proud of the olam in the Beis Medrash that's coming, even though I'm not there. They're holding up the fort. They're continuing with their kvios, with their day-to-day. It's not about Eli, about this, about that. It's about doing the daf, about learning Torah every single day, regardless of the situation, regardless how hard it is. I know, for instance, to come to the Beis Medrash on a Thursday night, over 50 people to come, when everybody's talking about the news and Iran and this, and is it going to happen today, is it going to happen tomorrow, when? You're talking about, in my house, we have water. People, they stock up on water because they want to hit the water facility. They want to hit the electric facility. That's their dream. Shut Eretz Yisrael down. So that's what you're talking about. What am I going to do with water? What am I going to do about this? Is my mamad set up well? If there's an alarm, where am I going to run? How am I going to do it? That's what people are thinking now. But to come to the Beis Medrash, over 50 people at night, and I don't know how many people in the morning, at least 30, 40 people in the morning, to sit and learn Torah, it's a situation, it's a tremendous Kiddush Hashem. Bemis, Kiddush Hashem. Zog the Gemara, Omer Rav Zvin. Oh no, not there. Omer Rav Yud, Omer Rav. Ein machzikin b'nichsei bereach. If somebody's running, there are people that run from the law. When I moved to Eretz Yisrael, people came over to me and they asked me, no, for real, why did you run away from Chicago? What happened? So somebody's running from the law. Like, but I go back every month. What do you mean I'm running? I'm there every month. No, for real. So a guy runs. You can't do chazak on it. Why? So this has to do with, look at the chart, mecha shlei befanav ein mecha. Thumbs down. That's why, since he's not here, he ran away, I cannot make a mecha. It doesn't count. We're going to see soon that it's lav dafka berech. You don't have to be a runner. It just means you moved. You left. Doesn't mean you literally ran from the law, as much as it can mean that you're not in the country. So now I'm going to ask you a question that's worth 1,000 points. Who was nifter first, Rabbi say, Rav or Shmuel? Whatever you say, you have a 50% chance of getting it right. Wrong. That is a wrong answer. Because, what? Says the Rashbam, the Rav was nifter first. He just brings it. And he says, throughout Shas, it says, Omar Rav Yehuda, Omar Rav. And it also says, Omar Rav Yehuda, Omar Shmuel. So he explains that Rav Yehuda was the Talmud of Rav. Rav, the Galadar of Bavel. Rabbi Yochanan was the Galadar in Eretz Yisrael. Rav Yehuda learned by Rav. But as soon as Rav was nifter, he went to learn Torah by Shmuel. So from then on he says, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. Ki Amrita Kamed Shmuel, when Rav Yehuda left, there was nothing to leave. Rav was nifter. So when he came over to Shmuel's yeshiva, he repeated over what he heard from Rav. So now we know for the rest of Shas that Rav was nifter before Shmuel. Omar li, Shmuel told me, does the owner of the property have to do a macha right in front of his face? So why can't he do a macha when he runs? The owner, can make a macha even though he's far away. V'Rav my kamashul. What's Rav coming to tell us? Again, a runner, you cannot do a chazaka on a runner's property. Why? Because we explained, so what's Rav coming to tell us? This halacha. Rav holds that it is a macha. So how could it be that he's telling us that it's not a macha? Says the Gemara, you're right. Rav himself holds the macha shlei b'fanav, thumbs up, have a macha. Rav time the Tana di Duncan mefarish. We asked the contradiction in our Mishnah. And to explain away the contradiction, Rav explained that our Tana holds that macha shlei b'fanav lo have a macha. It's not a good macha. He himself doesn't hold that. He was just trying to explain the Mishnah. Zok the Gemara. The opposite. Somebody that runs away, you could make a chazaka. Not you can't, you could. In other words, what? Mecha shlei b'fanav, hava mecha. It is a good mecha. Everybody knows that you don't have to make a mecha in front of him. So mecha shlei b'fanav, have mecha. Rav Makam Ashlan. And what's Rav trying to tell us? Mecha shlei b'fanav, have mecha. I don't know how many times, they didn't do a check, but I know that it's many times in Shas that when Rav says something one place, the Gemara always asks, why do they have to repeat it in other words, in another situation? We know Rav said it. Rav is like a Tana. It's like a Mishnah. There's no need for a Mishnah to repeat itself. A Mishnah said once and that's it. You don't say the same halacha twice. If Rav already says somewhere else that mecha shalei b'fanav, when you make a protest not in front of the person that's doing the chazaka, it works. There's no reason for him to repeat that halacha. Oh, and if you did a chazaka on somebody that ran away, it works. That's the same words. Elo Kamashmal, what he's trying to say is that here's somewhat of a picture. If you're doing a protest in front of two old men, they're not going to be able to go somewhere far and say over, hey, there's a mecha. So if they can't do that, I would think that it's not a good mecha. To protest in front of these two old men is worthless.
Why? They can tell someone else. That's him.
Gewaldig. You heard what Yosef said? he has this chavrously deep inside, because this is the second time he's using it today in share, and he's right. Says the Gemara, why? Because I heard a pshat from Shmuel. Shmuel argues and says it has to be in front of two able-bodied people. If they're two elderly or sickly people, it's not a mecha. V'Rav, and what's Rav Svara, like Yosef said? I have to say Yishkoyach. I don't know if I ever told Yosef Yishkoyach. He's behind the scenes. He got the schedule going, gets the shul going. Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Reb Yosef and Zev. We have two real estate brokers in this room. I would push his business, but it's not nice in front of Gerald Cost. He's also here. The truth is, I bought properties from both of you. A few more from him than from you. But how many houses did I buy from you? I bought 5 houses from you? That's not bad. I didn't think it was that many. Wow. Okay. Yosef, we're not going to tell anybody how many I bought from you. I think it was more than that, no? Maybe. V'Rav, I used to buy houses and flip. I used to, back in the day, before I was a Magid. Rav Chavro Islay. A guy comes over to me. Yosef, you're not going to believe this. A guy comes over to me and says, I bought a house from you on Chase or something. I'm like, I don't remember you. He goes, no, this is the address. I said, I don't remember. And he shows me the contract that says Eli Stefansky sold. I don't, and I thought I remember every house because I spent time in these houses renovating them. Garnished. I don't remember. He says on the other side of California also.
Yeah, I saw that one here.
You did?
Great deal, you did great.
I did great. How can I remember it? What's the guy's name? Okay. Chavro Islay. Wow. Good. Baruch Hashem, it's not only Gemara that I don't remember, it's also business. Amar Rava. Hilchasa ein machzikim b'nichsi b'reach. The halacha is that mecha shaloi b'fanav loi have a mecha. It's not considered a good protest when you're not in front of him. Therefore, when a guy runs for his life, you don't make a mecha. You can't make a mecha. It's not counted as a mecha, so you cannot make a chazak on his property. Now listen to this one. This is going to knock you off your seat. Again, in order to see how crazy it is, or it seems like what's going on here, it says, you cannot perform a chazaka on somebody that runs away. Why? We explain because loy have mecha, thumbs down. And then it says, have a mecha, thumbs up. Is it thumbs down or thumbs up? Which one is it? Tarti. It's a contradiction, says the Gemara. Tarte. Loy kashya. Says the Gemara, beautiful. Kambareach machmas mamoin, kambareach machmas mardin. When a person runs away to a different country because he owes a lot of money, unfortunately it happens, then he's not so scared if people find out where he's at, his location. He's not so concerned about his location. You know when a person is concerned about his location? When he killed somebody. When he kills someone, he runs away. He doesn't want anybody to know where he is. Why? Because if they find out where he is, the family will come to him and kill him. Goyal Adam. They're allowed to kill him. So he doesn't let anybody know. Therefore, he cannot make a macha. Because if he makes a macha, people will know where he is. But when a person runs away, he doesn't want people to call him and harass him to pay back, so he goes to another country. They'll find out that he lives in Ramat Bet Shemesh. That's why he ran away. No. Let them know. He doesn't care. I want to finish off with the story. I said this before, but if you're new to the shir, it's Gishmaka's story. Not all the parts of it, but some guy owed a lot of money to people. And he owed a certain individual, true story, owed a certain individual a lot of money. And he ran away to America. Let's say he went from Eretz Yisrael to America. Like 2 years later, the one that was owed a lot of money, he was at a wedding with his wife. And the wife bumps into the wife of the guy that owed a lot of money. And she sees her and she goes, wow, where were you? I didn't know what happened to you. She gives her a big hug and this and talking, schmoozing. When I told you the story?
It's worth to say.
Of course I said it, but Gerald didn't hear it, and other people didn't hear it. So she comes home and she tells her husband, she says, I was at the wedding, and these people that we owe a lot of money to, they were at the wedding, and she gave me such a hug, and she was so nice to me, and this and that. And the husband realizes, as his wife is talking, that the guy that he owes a lot of money to must have never told his wife what happened, because she accepted her with such open arms and such love and acceptance. It had to be that he never told his wife. And he was shocked. Like, this guy didn't tell his wife that I'm crazy, that I ran away because of him. This guy is a big tzaddik. So he picks up the phone and he calls up the guy. He says, listen, I owe you a lot of money. I got to tell you, I'm so touched, I'm moved that you never told your wife about it. He says, of course, I'm not going to tell my wife. He says, because you did that, I'm going to make it my business to pay you back. Whatever it is, I'm going to pay you back. I don't care. You're such a tzaddik, I'm paying you back. He went, he took loans and everything, more loans. And he paid this guy back. He paid him back. Why? Because he was shleima piv. This is a sugi of berech machmas mon. The guy runs away because he owed money. So Rabbi Sai, yishkoyach for coming. Be'ezer Hashem, tomorrow, what time? 12 o'clock in English. Daf Lametes in English at 12, 1 o'clock in Hebrew, Daf Mem, and Motzei Shabbos, Be'ezer Hashem at 10:30 for English, 11:30 in Hebrew. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.